In this video, we're gonna go over how to get into all 6 major marathons so you can get that Abbot 6-star medal. So right off the bat, all the majors have lotteries except for Boston. In Boston, you can either raise a charity or you can do a qualifying time. And we'll get into that. So basically the cheapest way to do it is just to get into the lotteries or be fast enough to qualify for all the races that can guarantee your spot into the marathon. We'll start off with the fact that virtual marathons do not count towards the 6-star medal. I don't know, but it is what it is. First, with the London Marathon. The London Marathon is 166 pounds, or I think it's like around $220 for USD. The lottery odds for the London Marathon are like 2 to 3%. So it's actually pretty hard to get into the London Marathon. I found an article that said that there was around 17 to 20,000 people are accepted into the London Marathon through the lottery. And in 2023, they had like over 584,000 people like enter the lottery to try to run the race. So it's like around 2 to 3% to get in. So interesting. What I saw on the website, some of the charity amounts are around £2,000. It seemed to be like the minimum. I mean, there might have been a little less, a little more, but I think you can find a charity for like 2,000. There's also websites, I think like marathontours.com or something like that, and other websites that you can do to guarantee an entry. And they also kind of give you a travel itinerary that you can like do all the marathons. Looks like all of them are available to do that. I think you end up paying maybe a little bit more for the actual race. So when I looked at Chicago, it looks like you had to pay like $500 or something, and Chicago's not that expensive. If you wanted to time qualify for London, the time qualifying times are from 18 to 39. You need to run a 3-hour marathon or below for men. 40 to 44 is a 3:05, and 45 to 49 is 3:10, and then whatever. If you want to time qualify for London for women, 18 to 39 is a 3:45, 40 to 44 is a 3:50, and 44 to 49 is a 3:55. They say only 3,000 men and 3,000 women get this auto qualifying time, so they actually recommend that you run at least like 10 minutes faster than that time. Yeah, it looks like London's a pretty hard one to get into. Next up, we'll go to Chicago. Chicago Marathon this year is October 13th, 2024. The lottery, if you do it, I have seen it's as high as 50% odds to like 35% odds. They really don't tell you how much they allow in, but it's a pretty big marathon. I think last year there was like 48,000 people there. The lottery dates are from October 17th through November 16th, and the drawing was on December 7th this year. The Chicago Marathon costs $240 US. If you want to go the charity route, before the lottery drawing takes place is actually a minimum of $500 cheaper than after the lottery. So if you know that you want to run with a charity, they kind of give you a deal. So instead of raising $1,750, you only have to raise $1,250. If you want to qualify in time for Chicago, from 18 to 29, from 16 to 29 for males, you have to be able to run a sub 3:05. From 30 to 39, it's a 3:10, and from 40 to 49, it is a 3:15. The women qualifying times are from 16 to 29 years old, you have to run a 3:35, 30 to 39 is a 3:40, 40 to 49 is a 3:50, and so on and so forth. Next up, we'll talk about Tokyo. The marathon has already happened this year. It was on March the 3rd in 2024. They kind of all stay within the same month. So I assume it's going to be the first week of March, or the first Sunday in March. Tokyo Marathon is the cheapest on the list. It comes in at like $160 per US. The lottery odds are around 2.5% for this marathon. The lottery dates for the Tokyo Marathon are August 14th through the 25th. It does look like they also have a charity lottery. Kind of hard to navigate their profile, but it looked like that you could like bid money in a way to get a guaranteed spot through the charity. So I think the minimum bid is $700 US, and I saw some people on Reddit talk 5,000, so they just did another $1 and they got their bid to Tokyo. So it's pretty neat. There are only 5,000 of these charity bibs for the Tokyo Marathon. Tokyo Marathon is also the hardest to time qualify. If you were thinking that you were fast enough, it's probably not going to happen. The men qualifying time for Tokyo is you have to run a sub 2:32. I don't even know what pace that is. It's probably a 5:58 or something. I don't know. For women qualifying time, you have to run a sub 3:19. The next major marathon on the list is the Berlin Marathon. The Berlin Marathon is September 29th, 2024. The Berlin Marathon cost is around €205 or $182 in US. The lottery odds I saw anywhere from as high as 50% to as low as 16%. It does seem that the Berlin and the Chicago Marathon are the two easiest to get into if you want to do the lottery. The lottery drawing for the Berlin Marathon is September 28th through November 16th. I looked at the charities because you can also run the Berlin Marathon with a charity. I saw charities as cheap as $700 to as expensive as $300. If you wanted to time qualify for the Berlin Marathon, the qualifying times for males are, if you're 18 to 44, you have to run a sub 2:45, 45 to 59 is a 2:55, and if you're over 60, you can run a sub 3:25, will guarantee your spot in the Berlin Marathon. For women, these times are, if you're 18 to 44, you have to run a sub 3:10, 45 to 59 is a sub 3:30, and 60 or above is a 4 hour and 20 minute. Next on the list is the Boston Marathon, the most prestigious marathon, the one that everybody wants to get into. The Boston Marathon is on April 15th, 2024 this year. There is no lottery for the Boston Marathon. I think that's one of the reasons why it is also so prestigious. The Boston Marathon cost is $230. The minimum charity amount looks like it just got increased. It used to be $5,000, but when I checked just recently, it looks like it's now $7,500. You might want to try to time qualify. The time application window for the Boston Marathon is September 11th through September 15th, or at least it was in 2023. The qualifying window for the 2024 Boston Marathon was from September 1st, 2022 through September 15th of 2023. The male qualifying times to run the Boston Marathon are 18 to 34 is a sub 3, 35 to 39 is a 3:05, 40 to 44 is a 3:10, and then you get a little bit of a boost. 45 to 49 is a 3:20. The women qualifying times for the Boston Marathon for 18 to 34 is a sub 3:30, 35 to 39 is a 3 hour and 35 minute marathon, 40 to 44 is a 3:40, and same with the males, you get a little boost. 45 to 49 is a 3:50. The last major marathon on the list is the New York City Marathon. It is on November 3rd, 2024 this year. The New York City Marathon is the most expensive on the list. It is $295. The lottery odds for the New York City Marathon was listed on their website and it was only 5%. The lottery dates are anywhere from February 28th through March 21st, which you can technically, if you're watching the video today, you can go and try to apply through the lottery. The minimum charity amount is $3,000. If you wanted to time qualify, the time qualifying window is very simple. It's January 1st of 2023 to December 31st of 2023. They used to have a time qualifying with the half marathon. They have now decided that they're no longer gonna accept a half marathon as a time qualifier. So, men qualifying times for the New York City Marathon, 18 to 34 is a sub 2:53, 35 through 39 is a sub 2:55, 40 to 44 is a sub 2:58, and 45 to 49 is a sub 3:05. So there's really no love to run the New York Marathon. I mean, it's harder to get into New York to time qualify than Boston, which is just wild. The women qualifying times, 18 to 34 is a sub 3:13, 35 to 39 is a 3:15, 40 to 44 is a 3:26, and 45 to 49 is a 3 hours and 38. I think that there in talks, or there's been rumors around that they may add a 7th marathon. If they decide to do a 7th or maybe even an 8th marathon, I think the 2 marathons that are in contention are Sydney, Australia, and I think the other one is in Paris. Sydney would be another continent that people would have to travel to, and I think Paris is another one if they decide to, or at least those are the rumors that I have seen. I think you also have to register an account through the Abbot World Majors, and then you enter every marathon, like every major that you do. And then when you run the last marathon, so say like Chicago was your last one for you to get that Abbot star, they will actually like have it ready for you at that said marathon like ending. So it's pretty neat. They kind of keep track of it, and they know like how many medals to give out and who to give them out to. If you enjoyed this video, thought it gave you some insight, I would appreciate it if you gave me a like on it and shared it with a friend. Yeah, that's all I got. Have a good one.